Before you drop $250 on your next pair of polarized glasses, read the names. Costa, Oakley, Ray-Ban. 3 different price tags and one Italian company that owns all 3. By the end of this video, you will know which lenses on that rack are worth your money and which one put nearly 300 people out of work. Here's what I found. Start with the store itself. If you are shopping at Sunglass Hut, that chain belongs to Essilor-Luxottica. So does LensCrafters. So does Target Optical and Pearl Vision. The company puts its own retail network at roughly 18,000 stores worldwide. Now look at the wall in front of you. Ray-Ban is theirs, Oakley is theirs, Costa is theirs. So the shop, the shelf, and 3 of the names you are choosing between all report to the same head office. That is not a comparison. That is a menu. Before we go further, you need to know which part of that price is real, because some of it is. A polarized lens is a filter that blocks light bouncing off a flat surface. That is why you can see into the water instead of at it. Every brand in this video does that. What actually differs is the material. Glass is heavier and scratches less. Polycarbonate is lighter and takes a hit without shattering. Triacetate sits in between. Those are the real trade-offs. Everything above that is coatings, styling, and the name. Let us start the countdown. Number 7. Costa. Costa Del Mar started in 1983 in Daytona Beach, Florida, built by people who fished the flats and wanted a lens that could handle saltwater glare. For 2 decades, it was the brand you earned. Guides wore them. So here's what happened. In 2003, Costa was sold to A.T. Cross, the pen company. 10 years after that, on the 7th of November 2013, the French optical giant Essilor signed to buy the whole company and closed the deal early the following year. Essilor merged with Luxottica in 2018, and in December 2019, the company cut 295 of the 350 jobs in Daytona Beach and moved that work to New York and California. The glass lens they sell you is genuinely good. I am not going to pretend otherwise, but you are not buying a Florida sunglass company anymore. You are buying a Florida sunglass company's name. And once you know who owns that lens, you start recognizing the same parent all over the rack. Number 6. Oakley. Jim Jannard started it in 1975 out of his garage, and his first product was not eyewear at all. It was a motorcycle grip called the Oakley grip. So here is what happened. In June 2007, Luxottica bought Oakley outright. $2.1 billion, $29.30 a share, cash. The lenses are still good. That is not the argument. The argument is that the number on that price tag is no longer being set by a garage in California. Remember the materials. You are looking at polycarbonate in most of that range, the cheapest of the 3 to make, at the highest price on the wall. And the one hanging next to it went the same way, 8 years earlier. Number 5. Ray-Ban. Built in 1937 by Bausch & Lomb, an American company, for Army Air Corps pilots who needed to fly into the sun. So here is what happened. In 1999, Bausch & Lomb sold the brand to Luxottica for $640 million. An American icon, designed for American pilots, has been Italian property for more than 25 years. Nothing on the box tells you that. That is the first group. It gets worse because it is not the only one. Number 4. Smith. Bob Smith was an orthodontist who loved deep powder, and in 1965 he invented the sealed thermal snow goggle. He built the company out of Ketchum, Idaho. So here's what happened. He sold it in 1991. In 1996, the Italian group Sofilo bought it. And in 2014, Sofilo pulled the headquarters out of Ketchum because, in their own chief executive's words, the growth they had planned back in 1996 never arrived. A goggle company from a ski town run out of Padua, Italy. Same story as Costa, different mountain, and the cheaper option right next to it is not the escape you think it is. Number 3. Suncloud. This is the budget polarized line sitting on the rack beside Smith at a fraction of the price, and plenty of anglers grab it thinking they have found the independent alternative. Here is how you check that in 30 seconds. Go to Suncloud's own website, open the privacy policy, and scroll to the contact details. The email address they give you is support@smithoptics.com. Same company, same Sofilo. The budget option and the expensive option are one business charging you two different numbers. Two groups down. The one you are about to hear built its entire reputation on not being either of them. Number 2, Maui Jim. Founded in 1987 on a beach in Hawaii, and for 35 years the largest independently owned high-end eyewear brand in the world. That was the whole pitch. Independent, not Luxottica. So here's what happened. In March 2022, Kering Eyewear signed the agreement. By October, Kering held more than 90%. Kering is the French luxury group behind Gucci, Saint Laurent, Bottega Veneta, and Balenciaga. The last big independent on the water now belongs to the Gucci group, which leaves the ones that never pretended to be optics companies at all. And number 1, the tackle brands. Walk the sunglass peg at any tackle shop, and you will see fishing names printed on frames. Strike King alone lists a dozen of them, from $19 up to $45. Scroll to the bottom of that page, and the copyright line reads, Rather Outdoors Corporation. If you watched my lure video, you already know that group. Zebco, Quantum, Luz. These are not optics companies. They are tackle companies putting their name on frames somebody else makes. So that is the rack. Here is what I would actually put on my face. First, Bajío. When Luxottica shut Daytona down, Al Perkinson, who had spent about 15 years building Costa, walked away and started Bajío in New Smyrna Beach, a few miles from the old plant. He has said publicly that part of the reason for picking that spot was to create jobs for some of the 300 people who had just lost theirs. Bajío is independent, and it is employee-owned. If the ownership question in this video bothers you, that is the direct answer to it. Second, Wiley X. Founded in 1987 by an Army veteran making shooting glasses for FBI agents, and still second-generation, family-owned. His son runs it now, out of Frisco, Texas. And since the 2024 line, they assemble their new products inside that building. Not designed here and built somewhere else. Assembled there. Third, Flying Fisherman. Pat Sheldon started it in the Florida Keys in 1985, back when a decent pair of Polarized glasses was a luxury item. 40 years on, it is still family-owned and family-run. His wife, his son, his daughter-in-law, same family, same keys, no parent company. They are polycarbonate, not glass, and they will scratch sooner. That is the honest trade. But they cost a fraction of the big names, and most of us drop a pair over the side eventually. You saw the check twice in this video, and it takes about a minute. Go to the brand's own site, open the privacy policy, or scroll to the footer and find the legal entity. If you see Essilor Luxottica, Safilo, or Kering sitting there, you know exactly what you are paying for. Next time I am taking the same records into the cooler aisle, because that $400 box in your boat has a story too. Here's what I found.